one more book. It's the last book in the trilogy. I'm sure I can survive it. I've survived the first two, so this one should be cakewalk. But let's recap first. In the first book, just read Battle Royale and you'll know. And that's the last time I'll reference Battle Royale when talking about the Hunger Games. In this video. The second book, you might as well just read the first book again. However, the second book ended with a cliffhanger. One that I don't care to see resolved, but Collins believes we do, so let's just humor her.
My name is Katniss Everdeen. I am 17 years old.
Hi, Katniss Everdeen.
I was in the Hunger Games. I escaped. The Capitol hates me.
So does reality. What's your point?
Peeta was taken prisoner. Most likely he's dead.
We should only be so lucky, because then this book wouldn't have an excuse to exist.
Peeta looks straight into the camera.
I want everyone watching to stop and think about what this war could mean for human beings. Finally, getting to the message of this series. Is this really what we want to do? Kill ourselves off completely? In the hopes of what? Some decent species will inherit the Earth? As far as I can tell, this war is happening in Panem, which is what remains of North America. So this war affects only North America. The rest of the world should be fine. On second thought, is there a rest of the world? It's always Panem this, Panem that, District 13 or District 9, but never any mention of other countries. I know I said I wouldn't bring this up again, but screw it. At least in Battle Royale, while Japan, the Republic of Greater East Asia may think of itself as the greatest country in the world, it at least acknowledges there are other countries. Even in 1984, Oceania's government constantly lies to its people, but they at least mention that other countries exist. Were the natural disasters mentioned in the first book really so great that no other country survived? And if yes, really? Only North America could survive these disasters? No other country was advanced enough? I know that to most Americans, most not all, the US isn't just the greatest country in the world, it's the only country in the world. But I would think that someone who tries to convey a message like this wouldn't be one of them.
For the first time, I give the people of 13 something. Credit. Over the past 75 years, they've learned to be self-sufficient, turned their citizens into an army, and built a new society with no help from anyone.
75 years? They waited that long to make a move? Sure, they needed some organization first, but in waiting this long, they allowed Panem's government to become more powerful than before, so District 13 is kinda dumb.
Maybe they are militaristic, overly programmed and somewhat lacking in a sense of humor.
Oh, kinda like these guys. But if these people are to take down the government, start their own new one, therefore turn Panem into a more militaristic country, so whoever wins, the world won't be getting any better. Collins, it's a young adult novel you're writing, not Animal Farm. People of Panem, we fight, we dare, we end our hunger for justice.
I can tell by the way they present it that they've spent months, maybe years, working it out and are really proud of it.
I'm trying to imagine just how they presented it so to make that look like something to be proud of. The capital's fragile because it depends on the districts for everything. Food, energy, even the peacekeepers that police us.
Did you
just admit there that the entire premise of this trilogy is... so what's the politically correct term to use? Oh yeah, completely retarded? It never made sense to me why the government would kill its own people, and now you're openly admitting that the government depends on the people that they keep killing? So why do they keep doing it? And don't tell me it's to prevent another rebellion. I already explained why I'm not buying that. Is it because they're evil and therefore they're supposed to do things that are pointless? The writer's own namesakes are more subtle than that, and they're from a soap opera! Even if I, to one degree or another, ever liked at least the first book, this one line ruins the whole trilogy. But as I've said before, the characters aren't interesting, the world that is described is incomplete, and the overall story makes no sense! So there was very little left to ruin anyway. This was D. I'm signing off.